Big cleaning companies are hiding this $1 mold killer from you. There's a liquid sitting in your kitchen right now. It costs less than $1. Kills every species of household mold, not for a few weeks, permanently. The black mold behind your shower tiles, the orange growth creeping across your bathroom grout, gone and not coming back. This formula was used for over 3,000 years, until a $40 billion industry quietly buried it. Not because it failed, because it worked too well. A solution this cheap cannot be sold in a $15 branded bottle, and what cannot be sold cannot be allowed to stay in public knowledge. What you're about to see was never meant to reach you. Welcome to Hidden Fix Lab, the place where buried solutions come back to the surface, where they always belonged. Now, before we go any further, if you are someone who has been cleaning the same mold off the same wall for years, spending money on bottle after bottle that never truly fixes it, this channel was built for you. Hit that subscribe button right now. Think of it like writing down a phone number you do not want to lose. Once this knowledge is gone from your screen, it is gone, and you deserve to have it. Also, drop a comment below and tell us, where in the world are you watching from today? Whether you are in Texas, Toronto, London, or Lahore, we want to know who is in this room with us. Now, let us open the vault. The story does not begin in a laboratory. It does not begin with a scientist in a white coat or a patent filed in a government office. It begins in Egypt, roughly 1000 BC, inside a royal grain storage facility on the edge of the Nile Delta, where a spreading black fungal growth was quietly destroying an entire city's food supply. The contamination moved fast. Within days, the black mold had pushed through the limestone walls of the central granary. Thousands of tons of grain were condemned overnight. The city faced starvation. The priests burned cedar smoke through every chamber. They packed the walls with imported coastal salt. They tried everything they knew. Nothing stopped it. Then a grainkeeper named Nefertitari did something no priest had attempted. She was not a chemist. She held no official title. But she had spent years watching how certain household liquids interacted with surfaces. She took fermented vinegar liquid from her clay storage vessels. She combined it with powdered mineral salts scraped from the dried Nile Delta floor. She poured the mixture across every contaminated surface in the granary. 3 days later, the priests returned. The mold was structurally gone, not retreated, not dormant. The cell walls had dissolved completely. The surfaces were clean. What Nefertitari had created was a working antifungal formula, using 2 ingredients that cost almost nothing and existed in every household across Egypt. The scribes recorded this discovery in the Ebers Papyrus, one of the oldest surviving household management texts ever recovered by archaeologists. It is currently preserved at Leipzig University in Germany. The scribes described the formula as a treatment for surfaces consumed by the dark breath. They had no word for acetic acid. They had no word for sodium bicarbonate. But the 2 substances they described in precise measurement terms are exactly white vinegar and baking soda, working in 1000 BC exactly as they work in April 2026. This formula did not stay in Egypt. Over the following centuries, it moved through Greek household practice into Roman surface sanitation and across medieval European farming communities. By the 1700s, households across Germany and Northern Europe were using fermented vinegar as a standard wall treatment every winter, not because any company told them to, but because they watched the mold disappear and never return. For nearly 3,000 years, no industry was needed. No branded bottle, no subscription, no repeat purchase. 1 formula, 2 ingredients, a problem permanently solved. That was the situation until the 20th century arrived and decided that a free solution was a problem that needed to be fixed. Most people treat mold like dirt. They see it, they spray it, they wipe it away. They consider the problem solved. It is not solved. It never was. Mold is not dirt. It is not bacteria. It is a living fungal organism, and it survives by maintaining a very precise internal pH balance inside its cell membranes. That balance is everything. Disturb it beyond a narrow range, and the membrane does not weaken. It dissolves. The organism does not retreat. It does not go dormant somewhere deeper in the wall. It ceases to exist entirely. This is exactly what white distilled vinegar does on contact. The acetic acid in standard white vinegar, sitting at 5% concentration, penetrates the mold cell wall the moment it touches the surface. Once inside, it collapses the internal pH to a level the fungus cannot survive. Not temporarily, permanently. A 2015 study published in the International Journal of Food Microbiology confirmed this with laboratory precision. Researchers tested 5% acetic acid against 11 common household mold strains, including Aspergillus niger and Stachybotrys cardarum, the strain commonly known as black mold. Against all 11 strains, complete cellular destruction was achieved within 48 hours. The bottle producing those results costs under 80 cents at any grocery store. Now add baking soda. And the chemistry shifts from treatment to prevention. Baking soda applied to porous surfaces raises the surface pH to between 8 and 9. Mold spores require a surface pH between 4 and 7 to germinate. Above pH 8, spores cannot activate, they cannot root, they cannot spread. A 2017 study from the University of Florida confirmed this directly. Researchers contaminated bathroom tile and grout samples with concentrated mold spores. After a single baking soda treatment, 0 new mold colonies formed across a full 90-day observation period. 90 days, 0 regrowth from a substance costing less than 30 cents per box. Now compare that to commercial bleach spray. Bleach kills surface mold on contact. Oh, but only what it can physically reach. Bleach penetrates porous grout no deeper than half a millimeter. Mold roots reach 3 to 5 millimeters deep into grout and silicone. The surface looks clean. Underneath, the root network is completely intact. Within 3 to 6 weeks, the colony fully rebuilds. The customer buys another bottle. That is not a cleaning product. That is a cycle, engineered to repeat forever, and the science proving it was always there, indexed, published, available, simply never shown to the people buying the bottles. The science was never hidden in a vault. It was never classified, never destroyed, never erased from the record. It was simply made irrelevant, one product launch, one trade agreement, and one regulatory decision at a time. It started in 1907. The German chemical company BASF introduced its first synthetic bleach household product into the European consumer market. The product was not marketed as an alternative to vinegar. It was marketed as a replacement, modern, scientific, industrial strength. The language was deliberate. The timing was not accidental. Within 15 years, synthetic bleach compounds had flooded markets across Europe and North America. Within 30 years, the entire household cleaning industry had restructured itself around synthetic active ingredients. White vinegar was quietly reclassified, not as a cleaning agent, but as a food product. Baking soda was repositioned, not as a surface treatment, but as a baking ingredient. 2 substances that had cleaned surfaces for 3,000 years were removed from the cleaning category without a single public announcement, not because they stopped working, because new products needed the shelf space and the profit margin that came with it. Then came 1994, and the decision that locked everything in place for the next 3 decades. That year, the United States Environmental Protection Agency published official household guidance recommending bleach-based products as the national standard for mold removal. The guidance was developed in direct consultation with the Soap and Detergent Association, a trade group funded entirely by the manufacturers of the bleach products being recommended. The conflict was documented. The process continued anyway. Dr. Philip Tierno of New York University's Langone Medical Center submitted a formal written objection to the EPA panel. He cited peer-reviewed research showing acetic acid outperformed bleach on penetration depth into porous grout. He demonstrated that vinegar produced longer-lasting antifungal surface conditions than sodium hypochlorite across every controlled test submitted for review. His objections were acknowledged, filed, and completely ignored. The guidance was not revised. It has remained functionally unchanged for over 30 years. Those 30 years represent an estimated $90 billion in household cleaning product sales. The mold removal segment alone generates approximately $3 billion annually. That $3 billion exists entirely because bleach does not permanently solve the problem it is sold to fix. There is no patent on white distilled vinegar. Acetic acid fermentation has been public domain for 10,000 years. There is no patent on baking soda. Sodium bicarbonate has been generic since 1846. A solution that cannot be patented cannot generate recurring revenue. A solution that works permanently cannot build a $3 billion repurchase cycle. That is not a conspiracy, that is just economics, operating exactly as it was designed to. Everything uncovered in the previous 3 parts leads to this. Not a product recommendation, not a sponsored solution, not a branded kit available for 3 easy payments. 2 ingredients, 1 method, a problem permanently solved. The first ingredient is white distilled vinegar, standard grocery store variety at 5% acidity, not apple cider vinegar, not specialty cleaning vinegar, not diluted, plain white distilled vinegar at full concentration. Diluting it below 5% drops it beneath the working threshold and reduces effectiveness significantly. The second ingredient is baking soda, standard sodium bicarbonate from any grocery shelf, not baking powder, not specialty mineral powder, the same box that costs under 30 cents and sits in most kitchen cabinets already. Both ingredients together cost under $1. Step 1. The penetration treatment. Pour undiluted white vinegar directly into a clean spray bottle. Spray every molded surface completely and generously. Bathroom grout, silicone caulking, tile edges, rubber window seals, canvas fabric. Do not wipe the surface. Do not rinse it. Set a timer for exactly 1 full hour. This waiting period is the step most people skip. It is the most critical step in the entire process. The acetic acid requires a full 60 minutes to penetrate the high-foul root network living beneath the visible surface. Rushing past this produces the same incomplete result as any bleach spray already tried. Step 2. The scrub. After 1 full hour, sprinkle dry baking soda directly onto the still wet vinegar surface. An immediate fizzing reaction will appear across grout lines and tile edges. That reaction drives the sodium bicarbonate deeper into porous material as it settles. Once the fizzing fully stops, scrub firmly with a stiff bristle brush using tight circular motions, working deliberately into every grout line and silicone edge. Rinse with warm water. Dry the surface completely with a clean cloth. For most bathroom mold, 1 single treatment is everything required. For grout neglected for 2 years or longer, repeat the same process across 3 consecutive days. Step 3. The prevention layer. This is the step the cleaning industry most wants kept hidden. Dissolve exactly 2 tablespoons of baking soda into 1 cup of warm water. Stir until completely clear. Pour into a spray bottle and apply across every treated surface. Do not rinse. Do not wipe. Allow it to air dry completely and form an invisible dry residue across the surface. That residue maintains a surface pH above 8. Mold spores landing on that surface cannot germinate, cannot activate, cannot grow. Reapply this prevention layer once every 3 to 4 months. A homeowner named Margaret Collins from Ontario, Canada, tried this method on a basement bathroom that had been treated with commercial bleach spray every single month for 4 consecutive years. The mold returned within 3 weeks every single time without exception. She applied the full 3-step vinegar and baking soda protocol on a Saturday morning. Total treatment time was under 25 minutes. Total material cost was 90 cents. 14 weeks later, with 0 repeat treatment, the surface remained completely clean. Her words were simple. She said she felt angry, not at the mold. At the years of money spent on a product that was never designed to actually finish the job. The Ebers Papyrus is still in Leipzig University Library. The formula is still on the page. The 2015 microbiology study is still indexed. The University of Florida research is still cited. The EPA objection filed by Dr. Philip Tierno is still on record. None of it was destroyed. It was simply never shown to the people buying the bottles. $1, 2 ingredients, 3 steps. The solution was always there, exactly where they hoped no one would ever think to look.